We did different problems to find the reminders using divisibility rules and division algorithm. After that, we need to learn highest HCF and LCM. HCF in the sense highest common factor. Highest common factor, or it is also mentioned as greatest common divisor. Highest common factor or greatest common divisor. We may notate either by using HCF or by using GCD, greatest common divisor. HCF, highest common factor, both are same. Okay. Now the question is about find HCF of 56 and 64 by definition method, prime factorization method, and long division method. Highest common factor. Okay. Right. See, the question is about highest common factor, and before going to start that highest common factor, see what you say about least common factor. Least common factor. Okay, the question is about finding highest common factor, but we need to think about least common factor also. Okay, right? See, I need to find highest common factor by different methods: definition method, prime factorization method, and long division method. Okay, I will start my discussion with the definition method. See, the definition method in the sense we need to follow the basic definition. What is that? Highest common factor. Factors, common factors, and among those common factors, we need to identify the highest number or greatest one, and that is considered as GCD or HCF. We know that factor and divisor both are same. Okay, right? So 56 is a number, and we need to list out the factors of 56. Okay, what are the factors of 56? Factors of 56 are 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor. See what you say about 3 is not a factor, 4 is a factor, 5 is not a factor, 6 is not a factor, 7 is a factor, 8 is a factor, right? 9 is not a factor, 10, 11, 12, 13, all these numbers are not factors. 14 is a factor, and then 14 is a factor. See, after that we need to search for the factors. Okay, 28 is a factor and 56 is a factor. I think so these are the factors of 56, right? Okay. And what you say about factors of 64?
Hello, sir.
So factors of 56, and then these are the factors of 64. After listing factors, we need to find out common factors. Common factors for 56 and 64. Why common factors? Because the word HCF, common factor, highest common factor. Okay, we need to list out common factors. What are the common factors? 1 is a common factor, 2 is a common factor, 4 is a common factor, 8 is a common factor. We have list of factors for 56 as well as list for 64. From the list we need to identify common factors, and at the end common factors are 1, 2, 4, 8. And just you observe these common factors. In these common factors, see 1 is the least common factor. Is it right? 1 is the least number in the list of common factors. So 1 is considered as least common factor. And in that list, 8 is the highest one. So 8 is mentioned as highest common factor. Our question is about finding highest common factor, HCF. So for this problem, 8 is HCF. Okay. For this problem, what is HCF? 8 is HCF. Okay. And if anybody asks you to mention least common factor, and that least common factor is 1. If you take any two numbers or three numbers, while listing factors, for sure 1 involves, because 1 is factor for every number. Since 1 is factor for every number, while listing factors, always you will get 1 in the list of common factors, and that 1 is the least one. So least common factor is 1 always. Okay, what I am going to tell you is least common factor is 1. Always what is 1. Okay, for any pair of numbers, for any 3 or more numbers, least common factor is always 1. Since it is always 1, no need to find out separately, no need to solve problems to find least common factors. Okay, but highest common factor is different from problem to problem and pair of numbers to numbers, and that's why we usually pay our complete attention on what highest common factor. So finding highest common factor using definition method is by listing factors and identifying common factors, and from that list we need to pick out highest one, and that is highest common factor. Okay, so see, just I am trying to introduce highest common factor for everybody, right? And this is definition method, and the next method is prime factorization method. Okay, first of all you just note down this, and then I will erase it for space, and then I will discuss prime factorization method as well long division method. Okay, now finding HCF for these two numbers using prime factorization method. Okay, so since the name itself is suggesting that we need to go with the prime factorization. Okay, you need to list out prime factorization for 56 as well as prime factorization for 64. I think you all familiar with writing prime factorization, okay, which you learned in your see in your previous classes. See, 56 is simply nothing but 2 28s, and this is nothing but 2 14s, and this is nothing but 2 7s. So 56 is simply 2 cube into 7 power 1. Whereas if you wish to write prime factorization for 64, it is directly 2 power 6. So finally, the prime factorization for 56 and 64 is this 2 power 6. And since we are searching for highest common factor, okay, so we need to observe the common factors of these two numbers 56 and 64, and from those we need to find out highest common factor. See, 7 power 1 is involved here, 7 is not involved here. So 7 is not a common factor for these two numbers. Whereas coming to 2 and 2 powers are involved here. So 2 is a common factor. Here it is 2 cube and it is 2 power 6. 2 cube is common thing for these two numbers. See, for in the prime factorization of 56, 2 cube is involved. In the prime factorization of 64 also 2 cube is involved in this 2 power 6. So highest common factor for these two numbers is 2 cube, and that is equals to 8. This is HCF. So in prime factorization method, while writing HCF of given numbers, we need to follow, see, prime numbers to the power minimum value. See, what I am going to tell you is, first suppose I have a number n1. I have a number n1 as some 2 power alpha 1 into, see, some 3 power alpha 2 into, 5 power alpha 3 into, 7 power alpha 4 into, and so on. See, all these 2, 3, 5, 7 are prime numbers. These alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4 are the powers of those prime numbers. This is n1. And suppose if you have n2 as 2 power some alpha 2, 3 power, no, see, I will use some other variable, 2 power some beta 1, 3 power beta 2, 5 power beta 3, and so on. So in this case, if you wish to write HCF of n1 comma n2, HCF of n1 comma n2 is simply nothing but 2 power minimum value of alpha 1 comma beta 1 into 3 power minimum value of alpha 2 comma beta 2 into, like that we need to continue. So always you need to identify the minimum value, okay, in the powers of 2 as well in the powers of 3 as well in the powers of 5, like that. Okay, see, just observe here 2 power 3 and 2 power 6. Among these 3 and 6, 3 is the minimum value, so we mentioned here 2 power 3. Whereas for 56, 7 power 1 is involved. For 64, since 7 is not involved, you may write it as 7 power 0. So now when you think about 7, 1 and 0, minimum value, smallest value is 0, so you need to use 7 power 0 here. Okay, HF is 2 cube, or you may write 2 cube into 7 power 0. 7 power 0 is 1, we know, so your answer is A. So if the numbers are expressed in prime factor in the product of powers of primes, then it is easy to find the HCF. Okay, for suppose identifying prime factorization of numbers is bit difficult for some type of numbers, then in that case we go with the long division method. Okay, usually we will try to express given numbers in its prime factorization to find HCF, because it is one of the simplest and fastest way. Okay, so this is the way of finding HCF by prime factorization method, right? After writing their prime factorization, we need to identify the minimum power of each and every prime, right? And then next thing is long division method. I am erasing this. Yeah, everybody just go with a screenshot. How to find HCF by long division method. Okay, see, long division method for 56 and 64, you just divide, that's it, okay? You just divide 64 with 56. 56 once is 56 and the difference is 8. This is first division, first step of division. And for the next step of division, you need to make this remainder as divisor and this divisor as dividend. Okay, it's a continuous process. We need to make remainder in the first step as divisor, as well divisor in the first step as dividend, and then you just divide. 8 sevens is 56 and the remainder is 0. See, we need to continue the process till to get remainder as 0. If remainder is 0 in a step of the division, then that divisor of that last step of division is considered as HCF. So for these two numbers, HCF is equals to 8. Just to explain this definition method, prime factorization method and long division method, I am just using what? These two simple numbers, and for these two numbers, HCF is 8. Okay, at the end we have many options to find HCF. We may move with any one of these three methods, but usually to solve most of the problems we go with prime factorization method, and sometimes we use long division method. This definition method just helps us to understand the basic idea of highest common factor. That's it. Okay, and also I mentioned you about the least common factor, which is always 1. No need to find, no need to solve. Okay, right. So this is about HCF, and then I will give you some different problems. Okay, based on this highest common factor. Have a look. So before going to give problems on HCF, one more thing we need to understand. See, finding HCF, which is highest common factor, okay, factor and common factor, highest common factor. See, as I mentioned you, if you wish to find out the factors of 56, as I mentioned you in the last class, we need to fill this box, this blank, with all possible numbers. And in the same way, if you wish to find out the factors of 64, we need to fill this blank with all possible numbers. See, different numbers are possible to fill this blank and different numbers are possible to fill this blank, and we need to find out the common number which helps us to fill this blank, and among those common numbers we need to find out the largest one, and that largest number is the highest common factor. Okay, what I am going to tell you is, see, if HCF is, suppose here HCF is if HCF is something like a H for A comma B, for two numbers I have A comma B, and for those two numbers if HCF is A comma B, then what will happen? Then for sure H divides A with a remainder of 0 and H divides B with a remainder of 0, and as well this H is the largest number with this particular property. Okay, we don't have any number more than this H which is dividing both A and B exactly. Okay, this idea we need to use to solve different problems. Okay, I will give you now. So using HCF, usually we may get 3 different types of problems, and this is type 1. Okay, this problem A is type 1, and I will give you type 2 and type 3 as B and C. You just have a look, find the greatest number that exactly divide 12, 15 and 21. First of all, you need to analyze the problem. Find the greatest number that exactly divide. I need to identify a number that exactly divide 12 and 15. That means I need to find out a number n. See, if we don't know, just let that number as n. Since if 10 is our answer, see, when you divide 12 with n, you need to leave with remainder 0 as per the problem. Divide 15 with n, 0 is the remainder. Divide 21 with n, 0 is the remainder. Okay, greatest number that exactly divide. See, remainder is 0, then we say that exact division. Okay, we need to find out a number which is exactly dividing these three numbers, and n is such number, and we need to find out such greatest number. Since n is dividing 12, n is a factor of 12. N is dividing 15, so n is a factor of 15. N is dividing 21, so n is a factor of 21. N is a factor of these three numbers, that means n is a common factor. And the question is about identifying greatest number. So n is the greatest common factor. So we may call it as highest common factor. So at the end, n is the HCF of 12, 15 and 21. Why our required number n is the HCF? Because as per this given problem, we need to follow these three divisions, and from these three divisions clearly n is a factor of 12, 15 and 21, and that too a common factor. But the question is about finding greatest common factor, so n is the HCF of these three numbers. Now our task is to find the HCF of these three numbers. So how to find the HCF of these three numbers? We have different methods, and I am going with the prime factorization method now. See, you just think about 12. What is 12? 12 is to square into 3. 4 3 is 12, and the next thing is 15. 15 is 3 into 5, and 21 is 3 into 7. So see, very clear, you just follow that. As I mentioned you, to find the HCF using this prime factorization method, 2 power into 3 power, 2 power something into 3 power something into 5 power something into 7 power something we need to write. Just for your understanding, I mentioned you everything. Okay, what we need to write at the power of 2? The least number. Okay, here 2 power 2. Since 2 is not involved, 2 power 0. Since 2 is not involved, 2 power 0. So we need to write 0 here. Whereas coming to 3, here it is 3 power 1, here it is 3 power 1, here it is 3 power 1. So 1, 1, 1. So least among those 3 is 1 again. When coming to 5, see here no 5 is there, so 5 power 0. Here 5 power 1, no 5 means 5 power 0. So here is 0. Coming to 7, since 7 is not involved there, 7 power 0, and here it is 7 power 1, 7 power 0 and 7 power 1, when you observe the powers, least one is 0, and if you calculate, your answer is 3. So as per this problem, the greatest number that exactly divides these three numbers is 3, that's it. Okay, so always you need to memorize this as a rule. In type 1, find the greatest number that exactly divide given number sum x, y, z. Instead of 12, 15 and 21, if you have x, y, z, your answer for that problem is simply nothing but HC of x, y, z. This is type 1. Okay, have a look, I will give you type 2. Next one, this is type 2. You just observe the problem, okay? You just analyze the question. See, for previous type 1, we need to find out the greatest number that will exactly divide. But here, see, find the greatest number that will divide these three numbers, leaving the remainders 5, 9 and 13 respectively. What it means? First of all, you just try to analyze the question, okay? See, I am going to divide 120 with a number, okay, leaving remainder 5, as per the problem I am saying. And 216. We need to divide 216 with the same number, and this time it leaves remainder 9. And now, if you divide 312 with the same number n, it will leave remainder 30. Okay, that is the case. You just have a look. So we need to find out the value of n. See, now when 120 leaves remainder 5 divided by n, see, we are familiar with the remainder properties. See, to make it this 0, we need to subtract 5. That means if you subtract 5 from the dividend, also automatically we need to subtract from the remainder also. So what I am going to tell you is, from this division, this is very clear. 120 minus 15, when you divide with n, leaves remainder 0. And in the same way, 216 minus 9, when you divide with n, leaves remainder 0. And here again, 312 minus 13, when you divide with n, leaves remainder 0. You just have a look. We are very familiar with this particular remainder property. Okay, if you left with a remainder of something like 2 or 3, if you subtract that number from the dividend, then the dividend will become an exact multiple of the divisor, right? With the same logic, I am just subtracting these remainders from the dividends. And now in this case, this n divides exactly these three numbers. What are those numbers? 120 minus 5, 216 minus 9 and 312 minus 13. That in turn represents that n is a factor, and that too a common factor for this 120 minus 5 as well as 216 minus 9 and 312 minus 13. Here we have three numbers, right? For these three numbers, this n is a common factor. Since the questions are mentioning to find the greatest number, we need to find out the greatest common factor. So for this problem, our required n is simply nothing but again highest common factor of 120 minus 5, 216 minus 9, 312 minus 30. And that is equals to 120 minus 5 is simply 150. 216 minus 9 is simply what? 207, and 312 minus 13 is 299. So 115, 207 and 299 are the three numbers. See, for these three numbers we need to find HCF. So again, how can we find the HCF? So either we may go with prime factorization method or we may go with the long division method. Here writing prime factorization for this 207 and 299 may be a bit difficult, okay? And that's why I am just doing with the what? Long division method. That's our choice, okay? Right. How to find HCF now using long division method? You just divide 207 with 115. Yeah. 115 once is 115, right? And if you subtract 7 minus 5 is 2, 20 minus 11 is 9, 92. So now 92 is what? I need some space here to do. Yeah. So I will mention here, our value of n is simply nothing but HCF of 120 minus 5, 216 minus 9, 312 minus 30, and which is nothing but 115, 207, 299. So our target is to find the HCF of those three numbers. So I will use this space now to find the HCF. Yeah, how to go with it? See, first of all you just divide 207 with 115. 115 once is 115, you left with 92. Now this time this 92 is the divisor and you need to write this 115 as dividend. Again 92 once. 92 once is 92, so 15 and 8 maybe 23, right? 23 and then 92. And now 23 fourths is 92 and your remainder is 0. Since remainder is 0 in this case, so divisor in the last part of division is considered as HCF. So 23 is the HCF of these two numbers. What are those two? 115 and 207. What you say about the third number? So now this time we need to follow the same procedure with this 23 and that 299. Okay. So finding HCF for three numbers, actually for two numbers first of all we have to find, and then we need to use this HCF with the third number. Okay. Now for 23 comma 299, so we need to divide 299 with 23. 23 once is 23, 69. Division is not completed. Okay, 23 threes is 69 and you left with remainder 0. See, only one part of the division is included and the remainder is 0 for with this one part. So this 23 is the HCF. Finally HCF is 23 and your answer for the problem is 23. Actually these two, see, we are just analyzing question with these two steps. Okay, as per the problem, when you divide 120 with a number, 5 is the remainder. When you divide 260 with a number, 9 is the remainder. When you divide 312 with a number, 13 is the remainder. Just it is for the analyzation of the problem. And we are rewriting the division step. From this, it is very clear that HCF is this 120 minus 5, 216 minus 9 and 312 minus 13. Okay, so to solve each and every problem, no need to mention these two steps. Directly, you need to write your answer as HCF of this difference 120 and 5, this difference 216 and 9, and 312 and 13. Okay, you need to memorize. If the question is like this, then your answer is HCF of the difference of this corresponding dividend and the remainder. Have a look. If you wish to formulate this type 2, that means I am going to give you a general formula. Find the greatest number that will divide x, y, z, leaving remainders a, b, c respectively. If the question is finding greatest number that will divide x, y, z and leaving remainders a, b, c, then your answer, okay, I am going to mention you the answer is some number n which is equals to HCF of the difference between the dividend and remainders correspondingly, x minus a, y minus b and z minus c. Okay, just observe the pattern of the question and memorize this particular answer. HCF of x minus a, y minus b, z minus c. This is type 2. Okay, and then I will give you question from type 3. Now this is question of type 3. Find the greatest number that will divide 40, 68 and 32, leaving the same remainder in each case. Okay, we need to find out the greatest number. Initially you just let that greatest number as n. Okay, then as per the problem, when you divide 40 with n, leaving some remainder r, and when you divide 68 with n, again it leaves remainder r. If you divide 32 with the same n, again leaving same remainder r, and that's the question. For type 2, remainders are different. Okay, for type 3, remainder is same in each case. Now you just think about it. How to analyze the problem? Yeah, actually, since when you divide 40 with n, remainder is r and quotient is not mentioned, you just take quotient is some q1, here quotient is some q2, here quotient is some q3. Actually, for every problem, no need to mention all this division. Okay, just to generate a formula for solving problems easily, I am going to mention the proof. Okay, this is the way of generating a rule, a technique, a formula to solve these type of problems. Right. So now from this, one thing is very clear. 40 is equals to n q1 plus r. Is it right? Because dividend is equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Apply the same division algorithm statement for each and every division. So 68 is equals to n into q2 plus r. And now 32 is equals to n into q3 plus r. R is same for each and everything. Okay. Now what I have to do is, you just do subtraction. I have three different equations here. You just subtract 2 from 1, 3 from 2, 3 from 1, like that. Okay. See, if you subtract these two, 68 minus 40 is 28 is equals to subtraction of this n q2 minus q1, n into q2 minus q1, and r minus r is 0, remainder gets cancelled, right? And then when you subtract these two, you just go in this way. 68 minus 32, 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 minus 3 is 3, 36 is equals to n into q2 minus q3. Not only this, when you use first and the last, subtract 40 minus 32 is 12 is equals to n into q1 minus q3. Subtraction of these remainders is 0. See, when you subtract one from the other, remainders gets cancelled and you left with, just have a look. 28 is equals to n into something. What it represents? When you divide 28 with n, leaves remainder 0, because 28 is equals to n into something, right? So in the same way, 36 is equals to n into something. When you divide 36 with n, remainder is 0. And 12 is equals to n into something. When you divide 12 with n, remainder is 0. So finally, what we need to conclude? Finally, the required value of n is simply nothing but HCF of 28, 36 and 12, because we are very familiar with this part. Okay, since remainder is 0, n is a common factor for the given numbers, and since the question is about finding greatest common factor, so HCF we need to find. So how to find HCF? See, for 28, which is 4 sevens, 2 square into 7. For 36, which is nothing but 2 square into 3 square. For 12, which is nothing but 2 square into 3. So now HCF is nothing but the 2 square, because 2 square is the common term for each and everything. So this is the way of solving this particular problem. See, no need to do this process each and every time. As I said, no need to do this. You just directly identify this 28 and 36, 12 just by calculating the difference between these two numbers. Okay, difference of 68 and 40 is 28. Difference of 68 and 32 is 36. As well, difference between 40 and 32 is 12. So for this type of problem, you just directly identify the difference and find its HCF, which is the required answer. This is type 3. Okay, have a look. And this is, see, proof and the logic behind this particular line. Okay, this is the formula and this is the proof of the formula. So you just analyze this, but no need to memorize. So finally, if you wish to formulate this type 3, find the greatest number that will divide x, y, z, leaving same remainder in each case. Then in this case, your answer n is simply nothing but HCF of the corresponding differences we need to identify. X minus y, y minus z, and z minus x. We need to calculate x minus y minus z, and z minus x. HCF of these three numbers is our required number, required answer. Okay. Finally, in this class we learnt about finding HCF using prime factorization method, definition method, as well long division method, and then three different types of problems. Usually related to HCF, we face these three types of problems. For first type, your answer is HCF of the given numbers directly, whereas for second type, your answer is HCF of these different minus the corresponding reminders, whereas for the third type, your answer is HCF of x minus y, y minus z, and z minus x. Okay, so in the next class, I am going to deal with LCM. After that, we have many problems, different and logical problems related to the combination of both HCF and LCM. Okay, and I will discuss all these things in further classes. Okay, have a look.